Ooh.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Just Too Sweet Show, episode number 47. My name, Big Daddy Cool, Tim Tabala. This guy right here is my tag team partner, Mr. A to Z Eric Zant. What's going on, brother?
Not much. Hanging, banging, and sitting here singing.
Oh, he's rocking the Bill shirt today. Down
Got the
below,
Bill shirt.
Hollywood Dave, the third man. No, you didn't know the third man. We knew who the third man was. You guys didn't know. And he's suffering from allergies today, so let's be patient with the young man, okay? What's going on, Dave?
Nothing much, like you said, just dealing with these allergies as usual down here in the 305. It's something I normally go through.
Have some sympathy.
Look at that. Look at our number one fan. We're not even done with the introduction, and she's already commenting.
Hey, gentlemen, and Eric.
What up, Bambi?
Welcome, Bambi. Welcome. We knew you would be the first one, and we're waiting for our second number one fan to pop in. I know he'll be here any second now.
Wait a minute.
Oh, go ahead.
Am I supposed to? We're not going to acknowledge that she's calling you two gentlemen and just calling me Eric. That's
Hey, that's up to you. You guys are the ones that have your little thing going on.
Yeah, you're the one that
your war.
Oh,
you help her out. When she's locked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm right there, and Joel Deckert's here.
Oops, wrong one. See,
Surprise,
for those who don't
Eric.
know, my screen is cracked. I can't see half the thing, so I have to guess sometimes which banner I'm putting up.
Oh,
so that's why I hit the wrong one.
Well, I happen to know the producer for the A to Z program. You want me to ask him?
Well, I just hit the wrong button at that time, but it's okay. But yeah, you and Bambi have your thing going on. We're just gonna sit back and relax and enjoy it.
Let her go.
One of the great rivalries.
It is, and
show.
I feel for the poor girl because she does live over in the outer reaches of Broome County, which is Harpersville, New York. I understand.
Poor Hart. You don't like Harpersville? I like Harpersville.
Actually, I do like Harpersville. Harpersville's actually, I'll get off kayfabe and I'll shoot.
Ooh.
You still live there?
Harpersville's actually a nice place. It's small. It's there's not many people. It's quaint. It's it's nice.
I know the days.
You know what though? When I first moved up there, I was jealous of Harpersville.
Why is that?
Because they had like real uniforms and like they had like their names on their cleats and their numbers like for the football. And I was like, wow, look at these guys. These guys are way better off than we are. We were in our little town.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I must have quit playing football by then.
True. But yeah, remember we had the problem with the budget. We almost didn't have a team, and meanwhile they got their cleats with their names and numbers on them. I was like, you sons of bitches. I think I hated them for that fact. So you know what? Screw Harpersville. Sorry, Bambi.
Did you ever feel that whole budget thing was a sham and like there was embezzlement going on and like a?
Whoa! I don't know. I just wanted to play football. I don't know. I just wanted to play.
Well, as the years progress on me and my mind, countersinks into the more reality-based aspects of society, I often wonder and look back, and I'm like, that happened awful quick. We had baseball, they had all this stuff, and then like a month later, there's no money, and they're doing all these boosters and all this stuff, and I'm calling bullshit on it. I'm calling bullshit. But anyway, that was 25 years ago. So.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still something like that going on nowadays.
I'm sure there is. There is.
That's every, especially these small towns nowadays where they're all dying off. It's sad.
They are.
It's sad. All right, let's get to the most important news of the day, and that's wrestling. Wrestling. First of all, we got to say happy birthday to one of the greats, Mr. Ric Flair.
Woo!
Today's his birthday. Eric, by the way, I was laughing. I saw on our 1 year ago today, we did, I think it was our first StreamYard show. And we also wished Ric Flair a happy birthday on that show. I watched like the first 20 minutes of it. I think we've evolved nicely over this past year.
Wow.
So
that's,
I will say happy birthday to Ric Flair. And of course, non-wrestling related, Paul O'Neill, my favorite Yankee. Happy
Yeah.
birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, Paul. Hey, did you guys notice there's no bed in the background anymore?
Oh.
Nice. Where'd it go?
It's on the floor.
I
It's
don't
set
know,
up.
it gave your show an extra bit of charm.
It did, but I'm gonna get a tapestry in the
Ooh,
back.
tapestry.
Tapestry.
Instead of
If
like
you're-
Indiana Jones.
If you're Scottish Lord, then I'm Mickey Mouse.
All right, let's get to the first big news of the week before we get to our big pay-per-view discussion. The Big Show, after 20-something years with the WWE, has gone on to AEW. He won't only be wrestling; he'll be commenting on their After Dark show. According to sources, which is just the internet, I don't have any special sources. Look it up, people. It had to do with the money. Had to do with money and what Vince and WWE wanted him to do and didn't want to do. He didn't like the deal. 20-something years later, he's gone. So, Dave, we'll start with you first. You're more into the new stuff right now. How do you think how Big Show's going to do in AEW? And will they give him a world title right off the bat, sans John Moxley and other WWE guys like Chris Jericho? Or you think he'll just be a teacher, so to speak?
I hope he stays way out of any title picture. Maybe just use him occasionally, just kind of like how they're using Sting. Keep him in the commentator role. I know one of the things that he was probably disappointed with was when Netflix didn't pick up his show again, which I'm sure was definitely a big thing for him to be okay with leaving WWE behind. Because I think if he would have got it in the second season, he might have not left. He might still be in WWE.
Yeah, I think that was partnered with WWE. That's why. So I don't think he could have went anywhere.
Exactly. So, and I know that that's definitely one thing that he does want to branch out into, his acting or TV career. But I mean, who knows? Maybe Tony Khan could somehow pull something off with TNT, and he ends up on a show. And who knows? Maybe we get the match that we probably wanted years ago. Which I mean, now I don't know if we want it between Shaq and the Big Show, or I'm sorry, Paul White, or the Giant,
right.
whatever you guys want to call him. Maybe we get that now.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
Eric, what do you think? What do you think of the Big Show moving on? Does he have anything left, you think?
I think so. I think he does. I don't think he's got like a lot left. He's not gonna do the rigorous schedule like as things open back up and things get normal and you're wrestling more frequently. But I do think it's all right. Whatever I think about Paul White and what he's going to contribute. Does anybody see the pattern here? The Ted Turner WCW pattern where they're just shelling out millions of dollars for all these talents, and they think everybody's like going, "Oh my God, AEW's getting this, that, and they're going to be." Dude, this happened before. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we're looking.
Well, the one thing different from that is, and I don't know if we talked about it in our last show. Actually, John Moxley just said it too, and I'll bring that up. He just said that WWE will never work with AEW. He's just being a stubborn. He's just being an asshole because he's an asshole. But Cody Rhodes said they're willing to do some kind of crossover with WWE. They're absolutely. And Tony, what's his name? Shand, whatever his name is. Tony he has actually told Vince, called him or sent him an email, said, "Listen, we're wide open to doing some kind of crossover show, some kind of promotion, some kind of pay-per-view or something, or even multiple pay-per-views." And Moxley comes out and says it'll never happen. Vince's ego, probably.
He's the only one. He's the only one because
Yeah.
even Kenny said the same thing. He's like, we want that, fantasy booking and all this, but yeah, Moxley, I don't know. He has a bitter taste in his mouth. He doesn't want it. I don't know if he doesn't want it to happen or he just has this like, hey, don't hold your hopes up.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen. At least while Vince is alive, I can just see the silly putty melting on his face when he's reading this. Who the hell is this Tony Khan?
I don't know. Tony Khan's got more money than he does. I'm pretty sure he does.
He might have before. I don't know about now with that deal. He's
No, don't forget he owns a football team, and
I
think they're into oil. Aren't they into oil and that kind of stuff?
They own
Yeah,
a soccer team, right, in England.
Yeah,
So-
but he
They
also
own a
has
soccer-
some. What is it? Some some business that's like analytics or something like that.
Oh, so he's okay. So he's got billions and trillions of dollars, and he ain't
Well, they
got
have
to worry.
soccer. They have an NFL team. Now they own wrestling. I think they're pretty much well off. I don't think they're really going to be hurting for money anytime soon. But the fact that they're open and Vince is so closed-minded just proves what we say every goddamn week, which is it's time for the guy to let it go, man. Let it go and let the youngsters come in. Because like you said, these fantasy bookings right now would be outstanding. I mean, I don't know how big the fantasy bookings are as far as like who in AEW do you really want to see match up and who we haven't seen already? Not really anybody. I think it's more of the shock of the invasion or this and that. I mean, what's the one match that you really want to see? I can't off the top of my head. AJ Styles already wrestled Kenny though, didn't he?
No,
Kenny Omega. He never wrestled Kenny Omega.
Never wrestled?
in Japan.
no, because they were part of Bullet Club, and then what happened when AJ was going over to WWE, Kenny attacked him, and that was kind of like how they wrote him off of Bullet Club, and then Kenny took over.
Oh, so I thought they didn't actually wrestle though.
No, but then you also have like if you look at the outside, the New Day have had like a little feud, like what is it? Like video game feud with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, where they kind of go at it and things like that. So that's another feud that people might want to see. Kind of think.
Oh, maybe one day Vince will get his head out of his ass and realize what's best for business would be
Dude.
something like this. Not only just for the business, but for fans, for us.
Dude, Vince is pushing 80 years old, man. Like
Yeah.
he's got a Triple H is 50, right? Like he's not.
At least.
Yeah, he's
Late
not
40s,
like.
early 50s, yeah.
I'm not saying he's ancient, but I mean he's if there's a time to give a little more control, it's now.
50.
51. Okay. So I mean, and I know Stephanie's like the cookie cutter zipper head for the WWE because you ever see her interviews? She's just like, oh, our product and our brand and our product and this is our superstar. It's like they're not superstars, Steph. You don't have any superstars anymore. You don't have anybody that's a name anymore. You have a bunch of wrestlers that you try to push that don't get over. So
And that's
there's
the
no more
problem.
John Cena's. There's
Yeah,
no
they're
more
expecting a
Rocks.
Cena.
There's no more. And let's be honest, Cena wasn't really the only reason Cena is as popular or almost as popular as Stone Cold or Rock is because of the internet and because of social media. If it weren't for social media and all this other stuff, John Cena would be almost superstar level. But like, dude, you gotta understand, Hogan, Warrior, Piper, Stone Cold, all those guys, Hart, did this without all this shit, and they're household names. So, and if they can't even create a superstar one. Like with all the stuff that they have, are they not focusing? Is that the problem?
I don't think they give anybody a chance. This is why Goldberg comes back every year. This is why Brock Lesnar is supposedly going to be at WrestleMania again. They're
I
not
heard that.
giving anyone a chance to become something. Like they said, they're pushing Big E right now. He got the IC belt. Now they might push him even further. Bobby Lashley is now he just dropped the U.S. title. He's going right for the big titles now. But again, he was already there. Here they tried to push him. It didn't work. So let's push him again. Well, how about you try somebody new? How about you give somebody new a chance? But no, that's not what they do. They like to regurgitate the same old shit over and over again.
Remember when like the Rockers were like just a mid-level tag team, and they rose. Got Shawn Michaels out of that. Look how many years he was doing that before.
And Bret Hart too. You could say tag team
Bret Hart.
specialist.
Tag team, yeah. And then
Never good on the mic really, but
Edge.
again, he was good. Edge.
Edge.
And look, Edge came
Well,
out
I
of
wouldn't-
a tag team.
Who I wouldn't call on the level of like Brett or Sean or any of them. I'd say modern level, he's good, but like real level, he's like if the top tier is here, Edge is probably like right here. He's not.
Yeah.
He's legit, but he's not icon level, man. He's not an icon.
I agree. He's kind of like he fits perfect with John Cena, where
Yeah.
he had like that time where he started Attitude Era, then transitioned over to the Ruthless Aggression thing, and then was kind of given that big heel role and won a ton of titles. That you're like, wait, how many titles has Edge won? 11? Like
Yeah,
something
a lot.
ridiculous where you didn't even notice he won that many titles.
No, and it's not like it's it's not revered anymore like being a champion because you got assholes like Bruce Pritchard that'll be like, well, they didn't really win the championship. You're given the champion. Well, no shit. But like for the fucking fans, it's like, and for you, like Tim, if you won, okay, I'm the champion for the last 3 years, and I'm going down for whatever, and it's like they're gonna pass the torch to you. You're not excited that you're gonna be the fucking world champion, and you're gonna beat the champion. So why not carry yourself as? I mean, I agree with Brett to a point. I mean, I'm not saying it's still real to me, damn it, but I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna do your job and do your part, act your part. I mean, and it's like with Pritchard saying stupid shit like this. All he is a Vince McMahon fucking ass kisser. I enjoy his stories. I enjoy hearing what he has to say in his podcast sometimes, but he's a Vince McMahon ass kisser. He always has been. He always will be. And he's sports entertained. Like, he's got it drilled into his brain now. Like, if you hear JR talk, JR still talks about pro wrestling. Bruce Pritchard's like, well, aspect of the, in and of itself, the entertainment value, and we just did not see. It's like, fucking shut up, Brother Love, you fucking asshole. Like, go back to Texas.
Brother Love alone.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. It's like the whole dynamic of pro wrestling has changed, and I understand why they call it sports entertainment because it's really not wrestling anymore. They don't even get trained right. You ever see these guys take a turnbuckle? Like, it's terrible.
Well, look at Raul. All the new signings that have been signed recently in the development can produce good wrestlers, which is true because they've been signing again. Here they go. Signing this one, signing that one, all these indie darlings, all these young guys, all these famous people who are famous as far as the indie crowd goes. But what will they do with them? That is the whole problem. And that's the problem that we keep facing every year with these guys.
Yeah.
And I said, even AEW, though, after a hot start, they've been making a lot of mistakes like this, too, lately. The Young Bucks are back to being tag champs. I don't want to see it. Even if for a little while, those guys are old and hairy. I don't like those guys. I don't know. They bug me for some reason.
The Young Bucks?
Yeah, they bug me for some reason. I don't know what's about them that bugs me. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, they're making a lot of signings. And speaking of a lot of titles, The Miz, I know, Eric, I don't know if you know, but he just cashed in the Money in the Bank at the last pay-per-view to become the first two-time Grand Slam champion. Wow.
He's a two-time? He's won them all twice?
Yep, he's the only person to do it to. Twice.
How long has he been there?
I give props to The Miz because he's a guy who came from, the real world. And on the real world, he was a wrestling dick. Even they were like, this guy with this wrestling, got to stop. No, I'm going to be a wrestler. I'm going to be a wrestler. Fucking guys became a wrestler and became one of the best. And he is, I don't care what anyone says, he's a fantastic heel. Good guy, baby face, whatever. He is a fantastic heel. He has that shitty personality.
Yeah.
I give him props. Congrats. I mean, whether we thought he'd be the first ever two-time grand champion, no. But you know what? Good for him. I'm glad he's getting one last push as far as the title concerned. And he obviously ain't going to keep that title very long.
No, he's unfortunately a transitional champion. But you know what? Still a two-time WWE champion, and I think he deserves it. Like, there's a lot that he does on the mic that people don't see. A couple years ago, when Daniel Bryan still wasn't wrestling, they had that Talking Smack promo where you're just like, holy crap, like, he really went at Bryan. And he's like, I'm here every single day. You can say whatever you want, but I'm not getting hurt. I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm doing what I have to do.
It's always great when they shoot.
Awesome.
Always great when they shoot. I think we should do a whole top greatest shoots of all time. I think that would be great. I'm sure CM Punk will come in number one, but WCW has plenty of those that we could pop up there. Brother-in-law checking in. They will kill them like they did with ECW, W Superstars, and most nice people they call, but keep you pushing Orton. Exactly. That's exactly what we've been saying. They bring these guys up
and it looks like
obscurity.
He was on his way up there.
Adam Cole, baby. I hope not. I don't want him to go up there now.
He might be going up there, and I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna look for him.
I'm so worried about him. I really am. Whatever. Now, I'm serious though. When you think about it, WWE's top 10 guys, 6 of them have to be in NXT. No, at least. If you think about it,
You think
You're
at least
probably
Finn Cole.
Finn, Cole. I would even put Roderick Strong. He's fantastic. Ciampa, Gargano. I think Fish and O'Reilly could actually be a better tag team than anyone they got right now. If they kept them together, even though they're not
Well,
undisputed era no
that's
more.
because they are a real tag team. They're not putting together two
Yeah.
random guys to hey, you guys should be a tag team. Why not?
Yeah, that works for the ladies. It's not going to work for the men. I hate when they do that stuff. All right, let's stop the bad talking. Let's move on to a show. I know you guys really haven't got a chance to watch it, but we'll talk about it real quick. Well, Dave, you saw the first episode. Young Rock.
Correct.
Again, very skeptical about this show going in. I was wondering how they're going to have these guys portray these wrestlers. The guy who played Andre was great. I am liking the show so far. The first 2 episodes, I thought they were great. I thought, of course, Rock is his usual charming self. Dave, you are right. They did do a little bouncing around too much in episode 1. They went from he was 9 to he was 12 to he was 19 to his adult. So they did a lot of bouncing around. But the second episode was more him at 19 trying to impress this girl. So far, I'm enjoying it. I think the wrestlers are great. The actors are great. I think the one who plays his mom is great. The one who plays Rocky Johnson's great. So I'm hoping non-wrestling fans help this show out. Well, Dave, you saw the first episode. What do you think? What do you think of the first one?
Like I said, I thought it was a good startup point. I just kind of hope they don't do exactly what they did in that first episode the whole time, which is what you just said, that they did. It was one segment about him, when he was 9, then commercial, then he comes back, and now he's 15, and then commercial, and now he's in college, and he's just being interviewed this whole time. I kind of wanted to just flow, everyone hates. I thought it was gonna be more everybody hates Chris, him talking, telling the story like that. I would rather see a little bit more like that than them going back and forth with Randall Park and Dwayne Johnson, But I didn't think it was too bad. Like I said, it was a good start off point. You're telling me the second episode was a little bit better, and they focused on one thing, so I just got to watch that one, and then I could give you my review on that.
So the guys that are representing the wrestlers are doing a good job of that.
So far, I think the Samoan guys are great because they got Samoans to play them, which is great. I was worried about Andre, but the guy they got to play Andre, I thought he was good.
Is he a
Know,
giant?
how do you replicate 7'5", whatever the hell Andre was? How do you can't replicate that. But the guy that got him doing it is very good.
He's a giant, the guy?
So he's tall, but
he's tall,
what they do
he's not
is that
tall.
they focus on the camera angle. So
Yeah,
whenever he steps up with somebody, they shoot him up so that he looks like he's massive.
Or he's standing on something next to somebody, that kind of thing.
Yeah, what I thought from that first episode, what that was really funny was when they're all playing cards, and then young Rock goes, "Oh, I don't understand why there's so many rules. It's all fake," and then everyone's just like, "Oh, what?"
Uh-huh.
And then Andre comes and picks him up, and he's like, "You think this is fake?"
Picks him up
It was a good
like
moment.
nothing. Yeah, you think this is fake? No. And you never use and you said you never use the F word. You never use the F word. So that was a great part of the show. I really liked it. And then of course Andre busting in on Young Rock's class at the end was all the kids got scared and he's just sitting there smiling and laughing. So yeah, that was great. And I don't want to spoil it for the second episode too, but they use that F word thing again. This time in a whole new fashion. We don't use the F word. And that was pretty good. Actually, I think I remember that from his book, him mentioning that part again. So I won't spoil it though, but check it out. Eric, are you going to get a chance? Are you going to watch it when you get a chance? Are you interested in it?
Yeah, definitely. It's NBC?
NBC.
Okay. I'll see if I can finagle something on some platform to watch
Yeah,
it.
it's got to be on Hulu right now, maybe before Peacock launches, or is it on Peacock already?
Well, Peacock already launched, so it's already on Peacock.
Okay, I don't have Peacock either.
What cable provider do you have?
Some local PA woodchuck redneck.
No, you don't have on demand then. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have. I don't think he has on demand.
Some
On
jug
demand.
and wash.
Nobody knows what that means up here.
What is it?
On
Some
demand?
jug and
Oh, the jug and the washboard or whatever.
the washboard.
When you had
I
Dave
was
and
gonna
I
say because if you
dying.
had a Xfinity, if you had Xfinity, Xfinity gives you Peacock for free, just in case anyone that doesn't know that.
Oh,
Ooh. Shameless
Dave-
plug, boss. Shameless plug.
Dave, that
Give us,
okay?
Give us money. Give us money.
Technology up here in upstate in the mountains. Just pretend 10 years ago what was good is up here now.
And yet
So-
your Wi-Fi is better than mine right now. Figure that one out.
You wouldn't believe what I have either, as far as Wi-Fi.
Well, I'm not going to talk about it again because I just get annoyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm recommending the show so far. Like I said, I think it's really good. I hope non-wrestling fans watch it because if just wrestling fans watch it, it's going to get canceled.
Yeah.
So I hope some non-wrestling fans can get on board with it. Like you said, maybe the ladies want to see The Rock, and they'll get all their loins girded up and get ready to watch the show.
Get all hot and bothered.
Exactly. And speaking of new shows, this was a very interesting thing too. The WWE and A&E Network are producing 2 new shows together. First one is called Legends Biography or Biography Legends, something like that. I don't know which one it is.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's exactly what it is. Biographies of all the legends. And I said they show pictures of all the great wrestlers of all time. I'm assuming too, just a guess, that this is kind of a reaction to the Dark Side of the Ring series that we love so much. I think these Dark Side of the Ring things are shitting. First of all, they're shitting on Vince.
Oh, fuck
And they're
yeah.
also kind of really blowing up what's going on with these wrestlers. So I think this is kind of their way of saying, hey, we're not all crazy. Here's this. Here's an hour of this, so they're gonna
Right,
be
but-
focused
Well,
on,
and they
those.
they kept it to like guys who might have had like a little bit of trouble, but not too much. Like so far for the biography one, it's Stone Cold, Macho Man, Roddy Piper, Booker T, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Mick Foley, and the Ultimate Warrior.
So there's a good shot right there at first.
But like, say,
But
put
you
it this way: is the Macho Man one going to be as controversial as the Dark Side of the Ring?
I think so.
You
I
think so?
No, oh, no. You're right. No. Here's the thing, though, and WWE's going to do this. They're going to make it from their perspective, and they're gonna cut and paste what they want, and but they can't do that now because hello, the internet. Hi, I'm the internet. I exist, and everybody knows everything now. So you can't say, well, Savage really wasn't. No, dude, he was a dick. You know what I mean? He was a fucking dick. He was a good guy, but he was a dick. And he did dick, but they all did dickish things. So you can't say Savage didn't do, or Piper even, didn't do this or didn't do that. Everybody knows. So if WWE's gonna for lack of a better term, compress and contain their own, because I can see Vince going, this is a real story about this other stuff. It's yeah, Vince.
What can they possibly give us that's already not on the network? Or I think it's going to be this again. This is going to be for new people trying to watch, or old people who aren't into wrestling getting into it again.
Well, I'm sure you're going to
it's
have
really strange they just didn't keep it to the network.
Yeah, but you're going to have legends that are going to still come on, because I think that's probably what he's going for. Because from what I understand, at least a few years ago, he made more money on the classics on demand and stuff than he did on some pay-per-views. He has such low buy rates on pay-per-views. That's why he included them on the WWE network, because they weren't getting the buy rates anymore. So
Who's going to spend $60 for a pay-per-view when you can get it for $9.99 plus?
Oh fuck!
Plus,
nobody's gonna.
Plus thousands of other hours of content. It makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. But the network is worth it alone for, like you said, for the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. That's $120 right there for 2 pay-per-views. Meanwhile, $9.99 a month, you got everything for the entire year, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. So no, I don't think. I hope they keep it on the level aspect of if they're gonna do it the right way. Don't WWE it. You know
what? I don't see it. I think it's going to be more of a milk and cookies type show. Here's Macho Man at the kids' school reading The Night Before Christmas, and here's this and that, and here's no,
We're not gonna
he
get
was-
any Macho Man Stephanie McMahon stories.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no. Meanwhile, over on Dark Side of the Ring, they're gonna have now they're gonna have Dave
Dynamite Kid.
That's gonna be a good one.
That's going to be real good. That's going to
Yeah.
be real good. Now,
So-
the other thing is the people that they got to talk, like, I guess they got Steve Austin to get on the Brian Pillman one.
Yeah. they
So,
did.
so that's going to even just visually legitimize it for people like, oh, fuck, Stone Cold's on there? Well, that's it right there, And Vince is
Yeah.
probably going to be pissed at that. I can't believe Austin. It's Austin.
Hey, he's not on the contract. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do.
I hope
Screw him.
What's Raul saying? I hope the Peacock network messes up WWE Network.
Does or doesn't?
Does or does? Raul, what do you mean by that? You hope that doesn't. Okay,
Oh,
don't
doesn't.
mess. Yeah. It will. To a point,
Listen.
I bet it will.
Hey, I'm happy I get to watch Saved by the Bell now for free because I watch the network now. I get Peacock for free, so I can watch the update of the Saved by the Bell show and that Punky Brewster show is coming on. I'm excited. Give
Punky
me my
Brewster's
free
coming back?
Punky Brewster's coming back too. Come on,
Really? Is Soleil
Thank you.
Moon Frye going to be on it?
Soleil Moon Frye, and her best friend Cherry, same girl.
You guys seen
I'm
Soleil
pumped.
Moon Frye?
Yes,
She is the textbook definition of MILF.
And by the way, I'll give you the free plug now. I was just watching the trailer before we got on the air. She has a show on Hulu coming out called 90s Kid, to where she uncovered all these. She used to, when she was famous, she used to bring her video camera everywhere. And she recorded hours upon hours of her and all the famous kids from the 90s. You're talking like your Brian Austin Greens and a lot of the ones that are dead now. And she
Like
said
Corey-
she made a documentary about it. It looks pretty freaking cool. It looks really good, especially the ones that
wow.
passed away. Like holy shit, she hung out with this dude and this dude. And they said that when she's 13, she overdeveloped. That's when they started calling her Punky Boobster, which I think is fantastic.
It is. That's so great.
The second show A&E is coming out with, again, this seems very interesting. If they do it correctly, it's called Most Wanted Treasures. This is Stephanie and Triple H driving around the country. Now, again, this is not a real show where they're actually just driving around. We all know it's set up. But they're driving around, supposedly around the country, to buy back certain pieces of famous paraphernalia, clothing, whatever, from famous wrestlers of all time, whatever. That's how you're going to put it. It's like a Pickers, but wrestling. Will it work? I don't know. I think Triple H and Stephanie are good together, especially on camera. If they don't Hollywood it up too much, because we know it's bullshit. We know it's a reality show, and they're all bullshit.
I just hope they act
I think
normal. Like, not like,
Yeah.
oh, well, this is like Steph all of a sudden turns on the robot switch. Oh, WWE brand, this is our entertainment our brand, these are our super. Turn it off and let her be a fucking bitch. And let Triple H, be like the miserable midlife husband with a fucking beard. You know what I mean? And
No, I'd like to see Triple H mark out. Like let's say some guy's got like, oh,
yeah, let him be real.
This is Lou Thesz's underwear.
Yeah.
And let him be like, holy shit, I want Lou Thesz's underwear real bad. Like that kind of thing. I would
Yeah,
love to
right.
see some shit like that.
Or like the branding iron from Terry Funk from the 70s. Or
Yeah, something crazy like that. So hopefully people are going to have some good shit. It's not going to be some stupid. I have the action figure from 1985.
Well,
by now,
It says on the same thing that I'm reading. It says, what is it? The hunt for some of WWE's most iconic missing memorabilia, including Kane's original mask, Ric Flair's butterfly robe, Andy Kaufman's neck brace, Andre the Giant's passport, and more.
Ooh.
Andy Kaufman's neck brace. See, out of all
Well,
that stuff, I think Andy Kaufman's neck brace is the most interesting one.
Do you remember that
I
whole
do.
thing with him and Lawler on Letterman and everything?
Yeah, man, that was a
Kaufman
fantastic
was
storyline.
Kaufman was a great heel, man. He was a great heel.
He's a better heel than most guys today.
Mm-hmm.
he made, and again, he did it in the South where
Dude.
wrestling was wrestling, and they really bought that shit hook, line, and sinker. Fantastic.
He brought viewers to the Southern wrestling, when the WWE was just starting to when Vince was just starting to take over, there were still territories and it was still going on. But like, yeah, Kaufman, you know, that was cool. Little did
But
everybody.
did you say that Kane's original mask?
Kane's
How could
original
they lose
mask.
Kane's original mask? I figured they'd have that.
Jericho
Who the fuck-
Jericho lost the AEW championship. What was it, the
true.
first night at some so
Who
you
the
never
fuck
know.
has Andre the Giant's passport? Like, where is that? Like
I'd
in
say his
Idaho?
daughter would
I
have
feel like
it.
there has to be some museum. I would feel like no.
I would hope so. Oh, by the way, speaking of Andre the Giant, I've been doing some rabbit holing on stuff. And do you know that they finally figured out Andre's real height? Like they know, they're pretty sure they know exactly how tall he was now.
Why? I
If I-
didn't even know how tall he was.
Well, you know, because especially he's 7'5", is he 6'10", is he this, is he? Because everybody's all they kayfabe it, he's not really that tall. This that. They found a lost interview with Andre from the early to 70s, and he exclaims his real height and weight, and he said, "I'm 7'3", and I weigh 390 pounds or something like that. And it was a young Andre, and of course the years he probably shrunk or maybe grew. I don't know. But yeah, he was. I guess the legit height that everybody's agreeing on now is like 7'2" to 7'3". So he really was. He really was that big.
I thought he was bigger than that.
I thought
He may have been because he didn't stop growing. So he
That's
had the acromegalia thing, giantism that Paul White got operated on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky that he didn't croak. All right, let's get to the main event at hand. And again, this was another anniversary that just passed, so I thought it'd be interesting if we talked about it because we always talk about the original forming of the NWO, the Bash at the Beach, and all that stuff. But we never really talked about when they came to WCW, which I mean WCW. I got it on my mind now. When they came to WWE at No Way Out 2002, and how they came to this was probably. I wish we could play the whole thing too. We can. I was gonna do it and say screw it, but I don't want to get shut out by YouTube and Facebook and all that nonsense.
You can do a clip. You can do a clip.
Yeah, but one of Vince's greatest, over the top, most insane promos ever was when he was telling Ric Flair that he's going to destroy his creation. He's going to inject it with poison. And he goes over there, inject it with poison. I'm going to kill my creation. and then he spins the chair around. And I'm going to do it with the NW. Oh, and I was like, holy shit. Because honestly, at that point in time, I thought there was no way. There was no way they were ever going to come back, at least not in the NWO capacity. Maybe Hogan for a farewell tour. But yeah, that was one of the greatest promos. Because at the time, the storyline was that Flair owned half of the Federation. So him and Vince were co-owners. And he was making Vince nuts. So Vince said he's going to inject him with poison, which turns out to be Hogan, Hall, and Nash. You remember this, Eric? You remember this whole storyline?
Of course I do. Oh boy, I was like, because it was starting to I'm so like I'm brainwashed into calling it a product. The wrestling was, I don't want to say like getting stale, but it needed something. It needed something because they shot way up, then they're like way up here, and it's like, okay, this is getting kind of lame.
Well, the war was over too. Don't forget.
Yeah, and then like all of a sudden, like when that happened, I was like, oh, this is what I needed, man. This is what I needed, and that propagated the Rock Hogan match that came later, right? And had the most ridiculous ovation of all time. I don't care. I don't know if that's ever going to be topped. You guys remember that up at the Sky Dome or whatever it was?
That was like 3 consecutive nights of ovations that will never be topped again, just for Hogan.
No,
That
will never be topped. I don't care how much money they say Austin made. I don't care how much anybody else did. Hogan is the most over wrestler there ever was.
Especially in Canada.
There's no two ways about it.
Canada can change your storyline like that if they decide to. I figured that out already. It was Canada who made him go red and yellow again. They were like, listen, we can't send you out there in that black and white. You got to find some red and yellow trunks right away. He was like, I don't know where the hell they are. He was, well, you better go find them because we're going to put you in the red and yellow again. And man, that's what happened.
Do you remember in WCW when he was feuding, like he was kind of like not in the NWO anymore, but he was still coming out in black, and he tag teamed with Goldberg and somebody else, Sting.
He had like the sleeveless flannel shirt.
I think so. It was against Nash, Sid, and somebody, and they wrestled Hogan, Goldberg, and Sting, and it was a good match because Hogan, that was his first back as the red and yellow Hogan for WCW, not WWF. But
I thought he was wearing the trucker shirt. Remember they had the flannel shirt for a while with the sleeveless flannel. He looked ridiculous.
He looked like a guy. He looked ridiculous. Yeah, he looked like from the Flying J, like getting a hot dog and a fucking like this giant supersize.
Well, Dave, this was your era. This was your prime wrestling watching era. What did you think when the NWO was coming back and Crazy Vince's crazy promo?
So I went back and watched this since I knew we were going to talk about it, and I started going down the rabbit hole watching Raw and SmackDown just to see what was going on. And it was exciting, but it still is disappointing for so many different reasons. Like, this lasted a month. Literally from No Way Out, which was, I think it was the 17th of February, to WrestleMania. Is basically, or the night after WrestleMania, which was March 18th.
Blame Canada.
Unbelievable. I was watching and I'm like, why did this last just a month? Like, well, one, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I don't think it should have been The Rock and Hogan. I really don't think so. I don't think it should have been.
Who do you feel?
It should have been Austin. It should have been It should have been the two guys that really carried that company.
I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that.
The first person they attacked wasn't Rock. It was Austin. And how do they write out? Because then I went back to watch the Raw right after No Way Out. What happened? Austin goes out, is calling them out. They come out to the ramp, and then they go back. And then Kurt Angle comes out with some security. Austin attacks Kurt Angle with the security. And then they arrest Austin and have him leave. And then Hogan stays, and then that's when his thing with The Rock happens. It's like, why the hell did that happen with Austin? Why do you have him leave at the beginning of the show to just have him feud with Scott Hall afterwards? It just made no sense to me. Like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, why? It should have been Austin, not The Rock. I don't care. Yeah, he's great on the mic. He'll make you look like shit. And I saw that. He made Hogan look bad. He made Nash look bad. He made Scott Hall look bad on that mic. But
I actually, Dave, I understand what you're saying. I think it was more of the legacy thing. My father wrestled Hulk Hogan. My grandfather probably wrestled Hulk Hogan. My uncles wrestled Hulk Hogan. I am the legacy. I am the third generation. I think, again, I'm guessing, my opinion.
Well,
I think that's why they picked Rock over Austin.
I believe that too.
To do that.
And also, this was during the time that The Rock was starting to do the Scorpion King.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted that to be like, oh, hey, he has to go over because of this, and we want to push him because of this. Get more eyes on the product. If The Rock becomes a movie star.
I don't know. I don't think it would have been as powerful. I don't know why. I just don't see it being as... Because Austin wouldn't be as dramatic as The Rock. It wouldn't be as dramatic. It'd be more, in your face. I don't know. I kind of like the way they went. I understand. It does suck that Hogan and Austin never got to fight. Or wrestle, excuse me. But, I don't know. I think they made the right decision. I just think there's, like I said, the legacy issue.
I just think you think about the two guys who, if you think about who's 1 and 2 or 1 and 1A, you think Hogan. Like Eric said, he's gonna, no matter where he goes, you're either gonna get a bunch of boos or a bunch of cheers. And Austin
Thanks,
is,
boss.
no matter what, he is gonna get a pop.
Yeah,
and he's had some of the loudest pops. So I feel like those are the two guys that really, carried your company. If I'm Vince.
Well, if you go back to the era of asses in seats, even in the WWF, like back in 83 to 87. If you watch any of those like Hulkamania tapes that like they put out and like watch them wrestle like in the Rosemont Horizon or the Boston Garden or like wherever, like not only was the house packed, but everybody was freaking out. Like it was an unbelievable time for wrestling, and they were smart, obviously, because they put Hogan on last because they knew he was the big, and they would. That's how other guys would get over. You know, they had their legit star built, and then they could get Savage over, they could get Tito Santana over, they could get Strikeforce over, or whatever, or whatever. You know, Demolition. It's like they don't do that now. It's like, oh well. Suddenly now Sheamus and someone's gonna fight, and the next week it's like, oh no, you know, this they got too many people, I think, writing and producing. And did you see some of the wrestlers, like the older wrestlers? They say like, we never went over matches in the back. He goes, we might have went over a spot and that's it. He goes, we never went over matches in the back. He goes, what the hell?
Yeah, the finish in a certain spot, the big spots.
Yeah, but they do start to finish back there, because when the legends come in, they're like, what are you talking about? Call it in the ring. Well, that's what you do.
With like you said though, with Hogan too. This is why when people get into the whole GOAT conversation with any single sport or anything like that, it drives me crazy, because you can't. It's different eras, man. You can't do it. You asked me who's the greatest baseball player of all time. I'm still going to say Babe Ruth. Why Babe Ruth? Because he did shit that other teams weren't doing. He did shit that other leagues couldn't do. He did shit that you'll never see done again. Hogan is the same way. This is why I don't think anyone will ever top Hogan. He did, again, Flair could have been the better wrestler, and Austin's the better, he made more money with the merchandising and all that stuff. Fine. But Hogan did shit. He put wrestling on the map. He sent it out to the masses. He did the movies. He did the cartoon. I'll never argue that he ain't that. That's why I always get mad at these GOAT conversations. You can't match eras. You can say he's the GOAT now of this era. Okay. Who's the greatest? Who's the GOAT of the Attitude Era? Austin or Rock? You can do that. That's fine. That's an argument you guys can have till your balls turn blue. I could care less. But like I said, if you're going to say ever of all time, you got to say Hogan. You got to say Hogan. I'm sorry, Eric Ball. That kind of thing. So I don't know, but I agree. I see what you're saying, Dave. Though I kind of understand what you're saying, but I liked what they did. I think it's just because of the legacy. Hogan had remember they had the picture of Hogan holding Little Rock. It kind of made it more in the face. It kind of made it more interesting as far as Austin goes. Austin could have just come out and said, when we were in WCW, you fucking buried me, you piece of shit. And that would have been fine. That would have been a great fight. But, I think the whole, the legacy thing is kind of what got them over. All right, so anyway, let's get to this. When NWO first came out in that pay-per-view, I was like, again, I was a little schoolgirl. I was giddy. And I could ask Ed, Ed from the Granny's Peach Tea in 161. He even said it. We were watching in his house on pay-per-view. We all had our shirts on, and Nash grabs the mic, and I say, he's going to say, that's the first thing he says, and I was like, they go into this whole big bullshit about why do we have heat? I don't understand. We're just here to do our part. And then Scott Hall gets on, hey, yo, we're not poison. And Hall, of course, looked very drunk at the time, which is very upsetting. Now that the behind the scenes. And then Hogan touched the mic, and the fucking place went crazy. So they should have known right there that this NWO thing wasn't going to work with Hogan. Because as soon as he touched that mic, the place went crazy. But yeah, how funny was their opening speech about, we're not poison, we're just here to hang out. Why did the boys not like us? How funny was that promo?
It was pretty funny.
It was great.
It was fucking real funny.
I mean, the whole night that they came out, it was great.
Yeah.
All of those
you want to do the matches, or you want to do those little sketches first? We'll do this. We'll do the sketches first, because they are just funny. So after a couple matches, they cut away, and the first person they meet backstage, Austin's walking down the hallway, bam, bumps right into them, and they're like, "Hey, look, it's the Texas Rattlesnake, the toughest SOB in the W." And they all have their little thing, and they're like, "Hey, man, we don't want to fight. We got you some beer." The way Scott Hall presents the beer is literally like a little child meeting their hero for the first time. I laughed so hard. I watched this the other day. I don't know why. I just thought it was so great how he played the little child. "Hey, man, got you a 6-pack. And Oz just like, beer, a 6-pack. You want to drink? Have a drink of Stone Cold? Like, yeah. And then he just fucking chucks it aside. How great was that? Tell me how great that was.
That was awesome. I was hoping he would do it too.
And then, of course, you get to The Rock now, and Hogan rushes in and says, "Hey guys, it's The Rock, my son Nick's favorite wrestler. Get a picture." And Rock's like, "Whoa, picture with The Rock. All right, no problem for your son." And I remember what he said. Hogan mumbled something under his breath, and The Rock says, "Whoa, you shouldn't have said that. Picture for your son, that's fine." He goes, "You know what you can do again." Like, I laugh every time. You know what you can do with that camera?
Great.
You, Chico, race up. He does the whole.
He does her with the diesel. Yeah.
He goes, "You can take the camera and pass it to your friend over here, Big Daddy Cool Diesel." Oh my God, he had me rolling already. Again, that's what I said. It's the promise of what could have happened, what could have been if this shit would have worked out correctly. It was so great. It was so great. But I said, before we get to the pay-per-view itself, though, other than the obvious reasons of Scott Hall, Hogan turning face, Scott Hall with the drinking, how long do you think this could have lasted, the NWO, and who at the time would have been perfect for, let's say, a 5-man NWO? They weren't going to go 10, 20 people this time.
No.
Who do you think could have been good for the NWO back then? I know, I'll put you on the spot.
Shawn, obviously. Like, was he there though? Was he part of it? He was part of it, wasn't he?
He wasn't wrestling. He wasn't
there, wrestling yet?
But he wasn't. He hadn't made his comeback yet. He made his comeback at SummerSlam that same year.
That's right, against Triple H, right? When he wore the jeans.
Yeah.
But he did come out with the shirt on. He said, with the NWO shirt.
I don't know. I got to think back to who.
I mean, they did get X-Pac back.
Yeah, they got X-Pac back.
Big Show, who didn't learn his lesson. The first time they had him in there. And Booker T, right?
Yeah, Booker T. That's when Sean's like, "Oh, something's not right here."
Yeah, and then he super kicked Booker T in the face.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm sorry. I think that's funny. That's so great.
But if I'm thinking about guys that were there already, who has an attitude like them?
Oh, it's a tough one because
wasn't that the only time the Clique was back together? Since
was Triple H with the NWO, or is he still?
No, remember they said to him, "Hey man, if you need us, just throw it up and we'll be there." And Triple H just kind of looked at him and walked away. So I was like, "Oh my God, it's gonna happen! It's gonna happen!" But of course, it never happened. God forbid.
So by proxy, it kind of was the Clique was back together.
Well, I mean, they were all there.
They were all there.
Time for the first time since '96.
The curtain call.
So maybe APA.
I think they're too. I think they're too. I don't know. Farouk and Bradshaw are just like Southern brawler.
But they were too over us with that gimmick, though. I don't know if they would have.
That's why I wouldn't have seen them with it. But I'm looking at like who was on the card.
Right.
I'm like, who would have maybe fit that bill?
Well, you know what? Here, real quick, we'll go through the matches and then we'll figure out at the end. Maybe you guys come up with some. Opening match, we had Diamond Dallas Page defeated the Boss Man by disqualification for the European Championship. Remember the European Championship?
Whatever happened to that? Is that gone now?
I haven't seen that around in a long time. Yeah, it's the U.S. Championship now.
Okay.
That's right, America, baby. Second match, the APA eliminated Billy and Chuck in a tag team turmoil match. Billy and Chuck. There was a storyline for everybody. Rob Van Dam defeated Goldust. Rob Van Dam, that's an interesting name.
Goldust.
Taz and Spike Dudley defeated Booker T and Test. That was for the WWF Tag Team Championship, which, again, if you would have told me those two put together, I couldn't tell you. Never would have remembered that.
Booker T and Test?
Yeah. I think I have, like, my mind blocks out a lot of this stuff now. I don't know why.
I didn't even know that match happened. I didn't remember.
Yeah.
I don't either. No idea.
William Regal, the champion, by the way. Intercontinental champion. I forgot he had the IC belt, too.
Oh, yeah. Give Regal some props.
I will.
A great match, by the way.
He defeated Edge in a brass knuckles on a pole match.
Oh, of course. You're not going to beat Regal at something fighting. I mean, That'd be bad if even they did let Edge go over.
It was good, by the way. I saw this match and I was like, wow, that's
That
fantastic.
was a good match. Yeah. The Rock defeated The Undertaker in a singles match.
Was that American Idiot Undertaker?
Yeah, American Badass.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle defeated Triple H. Singles match to determine number contender for the Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania. With Stephanie was a special guest referee. Go figure that one out. And then for the title, Undisputed title, Chris Jericho beat Stone Cold. Again. Shocking how well Jericho was over at that time.
Yeah.
And then the guys at the tag tournaments were Albert and Scotty 2 Hotty, Christian and Lance Storm, the Hardys, the Dudleys, Billy and Chuck, and the APA. So those are all the guys like at the time. And you know what? You're right. I don't see any of those guys being NWO worthy.
Edge is the only one I could see, like, because he was starting to get a little bit of an attitude. He might have been okay in the NWO.
Yeah. Maybe
Unless
Test?
they took some of the, maybe the younger guys who give them a shot.
Test, Edge, I think they'd have been good.
I think you're right. I think Test would have been pretty cool.
No Edge?
No, I think Edge too. I think, a young Edge would have been all right. The Dudleys, Billy and Chuck, no. EPA, I don't know. Lance Storm has zero personality, so that's a no. Christian, Jericho
I'm
would
literally
never do
going
it.
through the next couple pay-per-views to see who there, and I really can't see someone that I'm
Can't
like,
see anybody.
that person.
All right, so we agree that NWO was doomed from the beginning then, as far as this reboot goes.
Yeah, they should have. I don't know. It was a fun little like a little injection of the NWO, but I mean, they should have known it was not gonna.
I think the problem was getting rid of Hogan. They kind of lost their momentum there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you said you blame Canada. Canada's the one that turned that whole thing around because I think if I recall the book correctly, Hogan's and Rock's, I think they said that it was supposed to be different. I mean, Hogan was supposed to lay down to Rock, but it wasn't supposed to end the way it ended. But because he was so goddamn over and receiving probably more than half the cheers, they were like, "Listen, we gotta change this up. We gotta do something. We gotta take advantage of this shit." And that's why he went heel. So he went face so damn quick.
And even that next night in Montreal on Raw, he was ridiculously
Dude, that crowd
over.
was non-stop. But that was the big one, right? That was the big ovation. That was the 15-minute ovation, right? That one?
That was the fifth, but like the WrestleMania one was fucking ridiculous too. Like they couldn't get the match started for 10 minutes because they were just Hogan. You hear Rocky, but then all of a sudden you hear Hogan, and it just starts like overtaking all of it, and it's just because
the next night on Raw is when he came out and The Rock came out and said, "I want you to tell the NWO what they can do with their shirt only the way you can." They ripped it off. And then Hall and Nash came out, and that was the end of that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then Scott Hall to drinking, Kevin Nash blew out his quad, and that was the end of that.
What is it with guys blowing quads out? Remember Triple H did? Vince blew two of them out and jumping into the ring.
At the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Kevin Nash.
How
Kevin
mad
Nash
you got to
could
be to
never.
blow out both quads?
Listen, I've dove into ring, under the ropes into the ring, and I'm telling you, like it's like super Charlie horse if you don't do it right. Super Charlie horse. So obviously, Vince isn't a wrestler, so
Yeah, but he was just pissed because they screwed the ending up to the Royal Rumble, so he was pissed. Oh my god, that's still one of the best moments. One of my favorite moments I think ever in wrestling history.
that was pretty
That's a
good.
great moment.
Because he's just laying there laying on and the other guys are like, why is he on the floor? Why is he not standing? Why is
What's
he
he
not getting
doing?
up? Why is he not getting up?
And he must have been in excruciating pain, and he's not showing it. He's just like, what do I do now?
Both quads, not just one quad, two quads.
Oh, it's two. Faraci, it was both. It was both his quads. He blew them both out. I don't think it was the ACLs. I think it was his actual quads.
Yeah, I think he blew both of them.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
quads. He literally goes to go up and just right on the floor.
Bam.
And the show must go on. Like you said, he laid on the floor and screamed like an idiot at nothing, at nobody. So that was fantastic. That was one of my favorite moments. I wish the NWO could have lasted. It is still one of the best things of all time. But, yeah, we could have not talked about the anniversary coming by. I missed the. Remember Vince too came out like a week later. I think after Nash blew his quad, he came out with the music on and said, "Shut it off. You will never hear that piece of shit again." Remember that? Am I the only one who
No.
remembers that?
I
It
do.
was and because Scott Hall got fired because of the drinking. Hogan turned good. Nash blew the quad, and then he came out of Raw to the NWO music. I'm like, why is he coming out to the NWO music? And he said, "I hope you enjoyed it because you'll never hear that shit on this show again, or you'll never hear that song on this show again, or something like that." Yeah,
So,
so he was
do you think-
he was angry.
Do you think Vince did the whole? Oh no, let's bring it back, just so he could just bury it, like secretly?
No, I think he was probably pissed that he trusted Scott Hall too much. He probably thought everyone lied for him. Probably, oh yeah, he's sober, he's
And
good,
then
he's ready to go.
Injury prone Nash does
Yeah,
the
Nash blows the quad, and like I said, within 2-3 months, it's over already.
yeah.
Hogan's red and yellow, wearing another title, and the other guys are all out. So
How cool was that when Hogan was the champ?
I was shocked. I was shocked he put the
Couldn't
belt
believe
back
it.
on him.
It was cool though. It was cool.
It was. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I said Triple H. Well, Triple H would bow to anybody that Vince told him to. He laid out
course
for
he would.
anybody. He don't
Yeah,
care.
of course he would.
And then
They
Edge
lost
got
it to
the
the
tag team title.
Undertaker.
Yeah. Which was sweet revenge for Tuesday in Texas. Dropping the belt after 3 days. Give me a break with that shit. I don't even want to get into it. That's a whole nother show.
That's another show. Yeah, we don't want to like that. And do
All right,
yourself a
fellas.
favor. Don't listen to Bruce Pritchard's version of it either, because you're just gonna want to like fly to Texas and shit in his mailbox because it's bad.
I'd love to shit in his mailbox. That's pretty
I would
funny.
too. Fucking asshole.
Hey, boss, while you're watching, we're just discussing it before we went on. We're approaching episode 50. 50. We want to do it like maybe an all-question, open forum, Just Too Sweet show type show where we give away a shirt and some stuff. So, but I think we want you on that show, boss. Episode 50, 3 weeks from now. You
Yeah.
got to be on it for us. And not for nothing, we should get, does Bambi have computer access? Raul, you guys ought to be on episode 50. You should come on episode
Can.
50.
It could be like just have them revolving in.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
should. Anybody who wants to come on, what we'll do, we're going to post the link.
Yeah.
Anybody who
You
wants
can
to
post it
come on
there
episode
the bottom.
50 can come on the show for episode 50 and join us for the
Stop
magic.
and say hello.
For the magic. Yeah, you guys get like 5 minutes each. Come on,
Yeah.
run your mouths, and then we throw you off for somebody else.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
see,
what it sounds
we'll see
gonna
if
be.
Bert makes it to talk about Bad Bunny. I know he's been dying to talk about him for like a month now.
Listen,
Bert's been,
we're going to put a ban on that. I'm not even going to say it because it's all going to come out bad.
He's the 24/7 champion.
Please give me a
Ugh.
break. Bad Bunny.
That's like Faraci being the 24/7 champion. You know, come on.
Hey, look, the women have been the
Him and
24/7.
Bunker
Anyone can be
are
the
going to be tag team champions. Remember?
That's true. Him and But we harmonized that. We reinvigorated that relationship into like epic levels. I mean, we just. I pretty much think that's bigger news than that Mars rover dropping. And, you know, like I really thought the first picture of that Mars thing would be like Bunker and Faraci playing cards, like, you know, and having like those rainbow shakes and stuff. Like, I don't know. That's
Oh, like
That's what I
when
pictured.
DX got back together, they had their foreheads together, and they were getting all hyped up. And they turned around and started doing the chop. That's probably what
Yep.
it's going to be.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
Boss, I wasn't involved in that. Don't forget, I wasn't involved in that. So don't.
Oh no, it's all right here, boss. It's all right here. We take full credit and we're running with it.
See, that's why I got my eye on these two, because kayfabe is dead now.
Yeah.
so-
Why doesn't anybody trust Dave and I? Dave. Do you understand that?
I don't know.
I even detected a line being a little like woozy the other night about, you know. Oh,
See, I don't fool around. I
Yeah.
got my eye on everybody. Everybody.
Dave. We can both honestly say we're both innocent. We're both innocent. We have nothing to hide. We
My hands are clean.
see these hands. They've not been anywhere. No one else's have not been. Now that's a lie, but anyway.
Well, the boss said he'll come on the show. Raul, you are more than welcome. We will send you the link. We think you should be on. You are
Bambi.
definitely one of our number one fans. Bambi should definitely come on.
Bambi should come on. Maybe
And Eric, you got to book Joel again.
I'll tell him.
we want to have
come
part
on.
2 for Joel. So,
part 2 for Joel. Yeah, definitely.
Dave, I know Dave had a lot of questions we didn't get to. We had to get off because of the next show. So we want Dave to get all his questions out and stuff, and
yeah,
bring him back
he's
on
got
and here's some more.
he's got a lot
stories.
more stuff. Yeah, he's got a lot more stuff to tell, man.
Funny thing, I know that he brought up that barbed wire match that he had, and it so happens that now at next Sunday, I'm sorry if I sound stuffy, next Sunday at AEW's pay-per-view, Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, is gonna be fighting Jon Moxley in an exploding barbed wire match.
That's funny. That's too funny.
I was like, AEW was listening. They heard that and they're like, you know what? That'd be a good match. Let's throw
So-
Kenny Omega in that.
Are they going to throw Joel some residuals? Because
Or us.
that is us and him. That exclusive broke on this show.
I know.
I mean, the only bigger news on Pop Culture Pros that week was the Bunker Faraci Unity. That's the only thing that I'm going to beat this thing to death. I am not going to stop. Boss, I told you, payback's a bitch. I love it.
You know what though? You know what we're gonna get then? We're gonna get Bunker for episode 52 then.
Oh yes!
Oh.
Oh, look at Tim turning heel right on the show.
No, we're gonna get him on the show and we're gonna settle it once and for all.
Oh, we're gonna. So you're playing investigative journalist. You want to see if it's really true or if Dave and I are full of shit. Okay. Dave, do you believe
they're gonna do the handshake right
it's
here?
going to go just like this? It's going to be like, and like everything's going to start going like this, and look at what he wrote. Do you know I get canceled every week? Let's see, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he goes, "Oh, by the way, there's a new open time slot on Monday night."
There you go. See, you don't mess with the
boss. February's over, so Eric, after this week, he's gonna be more calmed down. It's gonna be March 1st. He'll be fine.
Yep.
We all know how much he hates February, so it'll be calmed down.
I hate February.
And imagine if this year was a leap year. It would have been even worse. He would have had an extra day of February.
Oh. You want to say hi, Dave? You want to see something funny? You want to see something adorable?
Want to see the cutest thing ever?
Say hi to Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Jaina.
Yeah.
Hi, Jaina.
She thinks Eric's Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
She,
Oh, you got Rainbow Dash too?
does.
God, man, you're making your
it's
just
so
your sweet
great.
debut.
Hi, Eric.
Hello, Jaina. How are you?
Good. Look, it's Rainbow Dash.
Oh, well, hello, Rainbow Dash.
You like talking to Eric on that?
Mwah.
Aw. She's so cute.
Thank-
Say
I have
what?
it back now. Thank you.
Thank you.
She thinks Eric's Eeyore.
That's
does.
hilarious.
She'll tell me. She'll go, Eeyore voice. I'm like, okay. It's so fun. It's so great.
Thank you, Jaina.
It's
You
so
made your
great.
debut on the show. That's
That's
good.
awesome.
She did. That's great.
Jax was already on. When we first started, we made Jax dress up like Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, yeah.
Just sit in the back. All right, fellas, we're gonna wrap it up because my Chinese food is staring at my face, and I'm gonna dive into it and go crazy. Remember that 3 weeks from now, episode 50, the celebration. We're gonna have a big celebration. I want
gonna be a
Steve
spectacular.
there. I want Bunker there. I want Joel to come on. I want to see a Bambi on there. I don't think we've ever had a girl on the show.
We tried,
We need to
remember?
have-
And she lived in that funnel
We tried.
of non-internet, yeah.
She lived in an internet funnel, so we couldn't get her on. So I want Bambi on. I want Raul. I want whoever wants to come on will come on the show. It will be an open forum. Maybe Gil will be back. Maybe not. He's probably following Bad Bunny around on tour. We don't know what the hell he's doing all of a sudden. All of a sudden, he's too good for us. Another one that gets too good for us. It's not fun. Eric, any parting words before we go?
No. Thanks for everybody for watching. Thanks for enjoying Pop Culture Pros. Real quick plug, A to Z program on Monday nights, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Best show on the internet. Brought to you by producer Dave, Eric, and executive produced by us still.
And Pop Culture Pros.
And popculturepros.com /Steve Faraci.
Mr. Dave?
Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I hope me wiping my nose about 10,000 times wasn't too distracting, and that you enjoyed the show as always. We'll be back next week, and we'll definitely be talking about, we might even do a preview before AEW Revolution to talk about, the GOAT of wrestling right now,
See,
Kenny
I see
Omega,
goat-
the
I see goat
AEW
stuff.
World Champion.
And when's 4 quarters on, Dave? Give yourself a plug.
Four-
Or you don't know yet.
Oh, no, yep, we are. 4 quarters is going to be every Tuesday after the Just Too Sweet show at 8:30.
Sweet.
Awesome.
As it
And
is
by-
the end of the week. Good.
We got our day back from Granny's Peach Tea.
I got to say, Dave, I didn't notice anything with your
Really?
allergies and stuff. No.
No, he did a lot of muting. I know he did a lot of
I
muting,
did.
which is good.
Absolutely.
That's a good producer. He knows how to mute the boogers. So it's all good. So Jada and Kyle are going tonight or tomorrow? I saw the post, but I don't forget. Well, they posted what movies to watch first.
Yeah,
they'll
they
probably
did.
go
I-
tonight, tomorrow. It's probably tomorrow. They like to go on late also. And then we start all over again next week. Monday is, what's Monday again? Is the A to Z program, of course. Followed, hopefully, by the season premiere of Empire 161. We were supposed to have it last week. That was my fault. I apologize, but hopefully we'll be back. Tuesday, same thing. Just Your Street, 4 quarters. Wednesday, put it in the books. For those 4 quarters, we said you're going to take over your time spot. Got it back. As Jada and Kyle. We have all kinds of shows. Pro Tunes, hopefully will return. My partner on that show so far is a little busy. But anybody else wants to see Pro Tunes, though, don't forget. It's not just about me and Keith, man, doing the doors. We want to hear other bands except for Bad Bunny. We will not allow, boss can't allow Bert to do a Bad Bunny.
Bert's going to do
Pro Tunes
the
episode.
entire Bad Bunny show.
No,
I heard there's going to be a metal show coming up on Pro Tunes. So
There you go. We want all. We don't have to wait for me and Keith to finish too. By the way, I was going to say because Keith's got a lot of stuff going on in his personal life and stuff. So nothing bad. I'm not saying like that. He's got things to do. So if you guys want to jump ahead with the metal show, do it. If Bert wants to talk about Bad Bunny for an hour, be my guest. Pro Tunes, baby. It's another good show. And the streaming show. When's that coming on, Dave? You said the streaming show's coming soon.
The streaming show should be happening 1 week from today.
Nice.
Episode 1.
Nice. We're getting bigger and broader
Sweet.
and better. And that's it. I need some Chinese food in my system. Let's get the hell out of here. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
thank you. And by the way, don't forget we have a guest next week on the show, and we are going to have a return of one of our favorite games.
Uh-oh. Douchebag. Douchebag?
Could be.
Douchebag? Might be the douchebag. It might not be.
It might be the douchebag. It might be a new revamped douchebag.
Nice. I like it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Spread us out all over the place. Pop Culture Pros everywhere. Every platform. We're there. Remember
Butter that bread.
You may not like us, but learn to love us. We're the best thing going today, people. See you next time.